This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back. This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals.
Welcome back, folks. Live coverage continuing here on ekartingnews.com as we get set to go with the second round of heat races. Still a long way to go before we get to the mains, and we are getting ready to rock. It will be Blaine Rocha right there with Austin Versteeg, Eric Caravello and Emerson Reed, Carter Williams and Christian Brooks looking for a great race here for sure. Alongside me now here in the tower, Tony Laporta. Going to take the race call here after we get things underway. I'll pass it over to Tony. Tony now part of the Howden Media Group as well as Superkarts USA. Great to have him with us. And we are underway, racing in Tag Junior. Drivers looking good going down to turn number one. Blaine Rocha started on the pole position, takes the lead over Caravello. One driver 4 wheels off, but able to continue. And always hoping they can roll through the first couple corners here. And indeed they do. A little bit more rough stuff further back, 3 or 4 wide going into turn number 4. 4-driver breakaway early here, though. Blaine Rocha, Eric Caravello, Austin Versteeg, and Carter Williams out and going. I'll pass the mic now over to Tony Laporta, who will give you the remainder of this race call.
All right, thanks, Rob. Out on the track right now, the opening lap of Tag Junior. We are underway and racing. Good opening lap for those drivers. Austin Versteeg out on the track right now. Blaine Rocha and him were your front row. Rocha now going to come by to lead the opening lap. And then in P2 it is Carter Williams, the young driver pulling double duty on that FA kart this weekend. And as they go down into turn 1, he is going to lose second place to Eric Caravello. So Caravello goes from P3 to P2. Williams slots back into third. Now he's going to have to hold off Davey Manthei Jr. And then number 42 Z-Kart. Williams looking back on the inside of Caravello in turn 4, and he's going to get the spot. Williams back to P2, and we've got a race of 3 go-karts for the second spot on the track on our hands right now. Williams leads right now, and that's Caravello in third, with Davey Manthei Jr. running in fourth. That 3-kart race for second place on the track right now as they head down the long back straightaway. They'll hit turns 11 and 12 and be back to start another lap here. Going to come by to see 8 laps to go in this 12-lap this second round of heat races. 10 laps to go in this heat race. 10 laps total. 8 to go on the board, 2 in, 8 to go. Apologies, 10 laps, not 12. As we kick off our second round of heat race here, Tag Junior on the track. Blaine Rocha in that Cosmic, doing the best he can to pull away from this 3-kart race. The other driver you got to keep your eyes on, folks. Rob talked about him a lot before the race started. Luke Selikin, your national #1 driver, picking up the championship last year in Tag Junior, getting to the racetrack. Just about an hour or less before his first heat race, missed qualifying and got out, made his way up from the back into the top 10, I believe, in that first heat race, and now he is racing, currently holding on into 9th place right now, so still just inside the top 10. That is your national #1, Mr. Luke Selikin. As we continue to run down the laps here, Carter Williams goes purple that lap with a 51.482. Carter Williams, again, pulling double duty this weekend in both S5 Stock Moto Junior and here in Tag Junior. So Williams doing the best he can to not only pull away from Caravello and Manthei Jr., but close up to the 209 Cosmic Kart of Blaine Rocha, your leader right now. 6 laps to go. Next time by here in Tag Junior Heat Race number 2. Again, you are listening to live coverage on ekartingnews.com of the opening round of the 2013 Superkarts USA Pro Tour. This is the 2013 Spring Nationals at the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. As the drivers come by across the start-finish line, they are seeing the crossed flags halfway to go. Halfway in this race, Blaine Rocha continues to lead. Davey Manthey Jr. took third spot away from Uric Caravello on the lap preceding this. So it's Rocha, Williams, and Manthey Jr. filling out your top three right now. Then it's Caravello and Sonny Cervelli, your top five, Jake Preston. And then your second-place starter, the 77U CRG of Austin Versteeg, has fallen back to seventh. Noah Gray, currently your fastest driver on the track with a time of 51.404. And then it's Christian Brooks. And the man of the hour, Mr. Luke Selikin, showing up just an hour or so before his first heat race. Did not get any practice in the kart this weekend. Didn't even get the morning warm-up or qualifying. And he is currently holding his own in the top 10 right now. Pretty impressive run for your national number one driver right now as Blaine Rocha continues to lead here. It's Carter Williams and Davey Manthey Jr. top three. Versteeg now starting to make his way up. He goes from 7th to 6th, getting around the 51Z of Jake Preston. So Versteeg starting to gain a little bit of ground here with 4 laps to go. While doing that, he does set the quickest lap this session out. Versteeg with a 51.248. Austin Versteeg going purple last time by. As Blaine Rocha continues to do his best to hold off the number 2 of Carter Williams. They're going to come by to get 3 laps to go this time by. Again, this is Tag Junior Heat Race number 2 coming up next. It's semi-stock moto. S2, their second round of heat races will be coming up next, immediately following Tag Junior. As Blaine Rocha comes by to get 3 to go. Carter Williams doing everything he can to hold off Manthey Jr. as they're going to head down into 1. Manthey Jr. all over the back bumper of Carter Williams as they went down the front straightaway here. Doesn't look like anyone's going to have enough for Rocha right now, considering they're going to be seeing 2 laps to go next time by. So the race at the moment is for second. It's Williams trying to hold off Manthey Jr. They head out of 5 and into the 6 through the S's, 7, 8, and 9. And then they'll be heading down the long back straightaway here. Going to see 2 laps to go. Blaine Rocha, your leader. Carter Williams trying to hold off Davey Manthey Jr. Here we go, underneath the starter stand. 2 more laps. Blaine Rocha puts his head down and pulls away. Carter Williams turns back to see Davey Manthey Jr. getting bigger behind him. Williams knows Manthey Jr. is there. Manthey Jr. is doing everything he can to get around the number 2 kart of Carter Williams. Uric Caravello and Sonny Cervelli continue to round out your top 5 as they run in station at the moment. While this race for second goes on between Carter Williams and Manthey, Blaine Rocha continues to just pull away here. Quite a gap between he and the race for second right now. They've got 2 corners left, and then they're going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go here in the Tag Junior Heat Race number 2. Blaine Rocha seeing the white flag. 1 to go. Manthey Jr. shoving Carter Williams all the way down the front straightaway, but does not even stick his nose out as they go down into 1. He has got less than 1 lap to try and make a move here if he wants to get around Williams for the second spot, which would ensure him a front row starting spot in today's main event for this Tag Junior class. Blaine Rocha is looking at a solid start from the pole, as long as nothing goes wrong here in this last half of the lap. So as they come down the back straightaway, the last time here in this second heat race, Blaine Rocha is not going to have any problems as he's going to come out of turns 11 and 12 to pick up the win. Blaine Rocha, your winner in Tag Junior Heat Race number 2. Carter Williams holds off the hard-charging Davey Manthey Jr. And Austin Versteeg works his way all the way up into 4th. Good run for Austin. Started the race off in 2nd, fell back. So that's Versteeg. Sonny Cervelli rounds out your top 5. And we're going to be back here in just a few moments with S2 Heat Race number 2. Again, you are listening to live coverage of the Spring Nationals on eKarting News Live.
Check. Check. Check 1, 2. Check. Check. 1, 2. Check. Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Check. Check 1, 2.
Check, check. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to eKarting News Live's coverage of the 2013 Spring Nationals. Today, round 1 on the grid right now, S2. We just finished up our second tag junior heat race of the day, which saw Blaine Rocha pick up the win for Rollison Performance Group. So good run by Blaine. Right now we got Axel Mattis and Augie Lurch, your front row, getting ready to take them down into turn 1 for the second time today. S2. Stock Honda on the grid right now. Axel Mattis, Augie Lurch. Then it's Christian Sherman on the CRG out of Colorado. Then Colton Griffin in row 2. Row 3 sees Troy Deedy and Cody Deedy. Well, what are the odds of that? The brothers right next to each other. And then it's Garrett Boone and Alan Michael, 7th and 8th. And rounding out your top 10, Josh Delosier and Sky Finley. Rounding out your top 10 here. Waiting to get the back of our grid set up. A 34-cart field here in S2. Race director Terry Bivey says, put the visors down. We're going to the lights. To the lights we go. The revs come up, and green, green, green. We are racing. And there is a huge collision at the start. 5, 6 carts all into each other. Jack Bradley's involved. I'll get you guys the rest of the numbers when I can. The rest of the field gets away cleanly down into turn 1 now through turns 3 and 4. But big collision on the back half of the grid. Mayanna Wick and the 246 involved. The 20T Arrow, they're all going to get going. Wick's out of it now. The 9 is rolling, but a good 4 or 5 drivers out after a 7 to 8 cart pileup. Off the start, I have to imagine someone missed the start or stalled it, and mayhem ensued. Up front, we are away, however, and if I'm not mistaken, up front by a lot is your pole sitter. Here he comes underneath the starter stand, leading lap 1. It is the 12K of Augie Lurch. As they run down into turn 1, Troy Deedy takes advantage of the crazy start and moves up into second with his CRG. Axel Mattis, your front row starter, drops back to third. And then it's Cody Deedy, Colton Griffin, the 3T Intrepid of Ryan Kinnear, Garrett Boone, Delosier, Miguel Lopez, and Micah Hendricks rounding out your top 10 after the opening lap here. Again, a crazy start here on the back half of that grid. Several S2s get collected up. The drivers I did recognize, Jack Bradley and Mayanna Wick. Bradley, I believe, got rolling again. I'm not sure. Mayanna Wick and several other drivers not as lucky. But we are underway here. Lap 2 about to be in the books as Lurch comes by again. Now, second place Troy Deedy starting to receive some pressure from second place starter Axel Modis. Modis moving up from S5. Now Cody Deedy goes purple. He's your fourth place driver at the moment. He has the fastest lap on the track until Chance Stevens in the 22C clicked it off. Chance Stevens with a 48.944. We do have a driver off and in the dirt on the exit of turn 1. That is quite a ways off, so as soon as we see him dropping off the scoring monitor, we'll let you know who that is. But at the moment, just another driver off in the dirt on the exit of turn 1. Christian Sherman I see coming by the starter stand. He did not seem to get a very good start as he comes by in 32nd spot, so not sure what happened to Christian. He wasn't far enough back to be involved in that incident at the back half of the grid, but he must not have just gotten a good start, possibly stalled it out. So Augie Lurch continuing to walk away as Cody Deedy has moved up into third place with that national number 3 kart as he races brother Troy hard right now for second, and Cody's going to take it and bring Axel Modis with him. Modis to the inside in 3, 2, I apologize, now 3. Modis into third place, giving Troy Deedy the heave-ho as brother Cody moves up to get around him. Cody Deedy now into second place, Modis into third, and Troy falls back to fourth as it's a 3-kart swing in turn number 2. So as he comes down the back straightaway here, again, a solid lead for Augie Lurch right now out of Pure Karting. That number 12K machine. Lurch, not really a surprise how fast he's been this weekend. He looks good, he looks smooth, and he looks consistent. Cody Deedy now in that national number 3 plate up into P2. And then Axel Modis, your S5 transfer from last year. He runs P3. Troy Deedy 4th. And then it's Garrett Boone rounding out your top 5. Ryan Kinnear. Kinnear with a few other of these stock Honda S1 and S2 drivers. Kinnear made the stop down to that race in Texas, Lone Star Grand Prix. He had a good run down there. Other drivers include Josh Lane and Jake French, your S1 contingent. And then behind Kinnear, it's Delogier, Colton Griffin, Miguel Lopez, and Micah Hendricks round out your top 10. Shout out to Chris Naria with M Squared Karting out of Utah. Naria, an S3 driver last year on the regional circuit in Colorado and Utah. Naria now running just outside the top 10 in a very stacked S2 field. So shout out to my boy Chris Naria. Great run for him. Race for 5th and 4th on the track right now. Quite a big race for 5th and 4th on the track right now. That sees Troy Deedy holding off Ryan Kinnear and Delogier. Miguel Lopez on his GP kart, trying to hold off Micah Hendricks, and then Colton Griffin into 10th place right now. All the while, Augie Lurch continues to pull away out here. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go. We should be seeing 4 to go this time by. 4 laps to go. And now Christian Sherman in his CRG USA entry pulls off the track and will hit the scales. Not sure what happened to Christian, but he will be back in the main event. So 4 laps to go here as Augie Lurch out in front by a lot. Leaving Axel Modis to hold about a 2-kart length gap over Cody Deedy. That's Garrett Boone, Delogier, and Troy Deedy has fallen back to 6th. We have a couple karts off in the dirt. Everybody continues to roll. A few karts just got a little wide on the exit of turn 3 here. It's a quick left-handed kink that throws you to the right side of the track very quickly, and we have seen more than a handful of karts go wide and drop a wheel off there. Some not able to keep it going as these drivers just did. So coming by to get 3 laps to go. Augie Lurch out in front. Lurch's gap to second place Modis is just over 3 seconds. Then Modis has a substantial 0.6 of a second gap over Cody Deedy. And then it's a second back to 4th place Garrett Boone, and Joshua Delogier rounds out your top 5. racing on the track right now. Intense here in the Arizona heat. We are racing at the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona, host to the opening 2 rounds of the 2013 SKUSA Pro Tour. This is the Spring Nationals in Tucson, Arizona. Augie Lurch getting the 2 to go signal from our head starter as he lays down the quickest lap of the session so far of 48.854. So despite the massive lead and the lack of laps left in the race, Lurch continuing to pour on the pressure as he walks away from Axel Mattis and Cody Dede. Coming up next, we have the Tag Master, second heat race of the day. Tag Masters, that was a quite an interesting race to watch. The first heat race, I think we had 7 attempts at the start, not really sure. But just glad to see everyone have enough gas to make it to the end. Meanwhile, on the track, the white flag flies for your leader, Augie Lurch. 1 lap to go as he works his way out of turn 1. Contact made in turn 1. Contact made in turn 1 between 2 drivers. Not sure who that was. As Augie Lurch has less than half a lap to go. He's actually in turn 10 right now. Let's get that left-hander out of the teardrop, and he'll come down the back straightaway here. So 2 corners left. And we're going to be done with our second heat race of the day for S2 as he comes out at turn 12. Your winner, Augie Lurch, picks up the win. Ryan Kinnear, and that's Dede going at it hard. Kinnear is going to best Troy Dede for the race. They were watching that race up here in the scoring tower. We're interested to see how that's going to unfold later. But Augie Lurch picks up heat race number 2. Behind him, it's Axel Mattis. So your front row for the main event will look just like your front row for this heat race did. Then Cody Dede in the national number 3 works his way into a 3rd place finish. Joshua Delogier comes home 4th. Garrett Boone rounds out your top 5. And then that race we were talking about, Ryan Kinnear beats out Troy Dede in the second to last corner. Kinnear is going to pick up 6th place. And then it's Troy Dede in 7th, Connor Wagner 8th, Curtis Paul Jr. in the Tony Kart 9th, and Miguel Lopez rounds out your top 10. In 11th, it's Sky Finley, Andres Orzofio, Alan Hewitt in 13th, Ben Schermerhorn in 14th, and Alan Michael. Round out your top 15 here in heat race number 2. Next time these guys are on the track, it'll be for their main event. Again, you are listening to live coverage of the 2013 Spring Nationals here in Tucson, Arizona on eKarting News Live. We'll be back with Tag Master Heat Race number 2 coming up next.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
Everyone knows that it takes money to go racing. It's also common knowledge that investing in yourself is always a wise strategy. When it comes to graduating from karting to open-wheel Formula car racing, there's really only one option that keeps you in control, and that's the Formula Enterprises race car from SCCA Enterprises. The Formula Enterprises car has the features and performance of a 21st century racing machine. And it has its own regional and national category within the SCCA that provides an unparalleled event schedule. And it's now the spec car for the national class in the USF 2000 Championship, the first rung on the Mazda road to Indy. This is a serious race car, built for drivers who are serious about development and affordability. If you're investing in your own racing, invest in yourself. The Formula Enterprises car holds its value thanks to its spec program, and it will get you on the racetrack more affordably than any other open-wheel car available. For more information, or to find an SCCA Enterprises customer service rep near you, head to sccaenterprises.com. Are you looking for that extra tenth of a second? Or are you simply trying to refine your skills behind the wheel? If so, Rawlson Performance Group's driver development program can take you to that next level. Led by National Championship driver Mike Rawlson, the RPG driver development program is more than just lessons at the track. Rawlson and his RPG staff go in-depth with pre-race physical and mental preparation, breaking down circuits, and poring over onboard video footage and data. It's all about focusing on every aspect of the driving equation. The Rawlson Performance Group is also the Northwest United States distributor for Cosmic Chassis. And in 2013, RPG will be trackside at a number of major events across the country, including the SKUSA Pro Tour and the SKUSA SuperNationals in November. If you're searching for a program that can provide more than just equipment and trackside support, you need to look at the Rawlson Performance Group. For more information, head to rawlsonperformancegroup.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back.
Welcome back, folks. Live coverage continuing here as we get set to go now with the Tag Masters class. Tag Master getting ready to fire things up. Scott Falcone going to start on the pole position here, that number 2, alongside Brian McCaddy in the 93. Billy Cleveland in the 19 going to start third, alongside Mirko Mazzoni in the 127. Anthony Honeywell and Jim Russell Jr. on row 3. Paul Holbein, Chuck Gaffar on row 4. John Dixon, Ron Hyde, row 5. Kevin Manning and Brent Lyman, row 6. Ethan Wilson alongside Paul Bonilla on row 7. Keep an eye on Bonilla. Remember, he went off late in that race all the way back to 14th, and he will be charging in an effort to try to get himself back into title contention with a win here this afternoon. Will Jadiker and Corey Mitchell make up row number 8, while Andy Seisman and Wade East will be on row 9. Row 10, Don Gilbo and Tom Gerstner. And that's Dave Kanicki and Gary Butler on row 11. Row 12, Federico Aquini and Steve Weiner, while it's Vacic Tatakian and Chris Koster on row 13. Here's two guys to watch for right now, folks. Starting 27th and 28th, Mike Jones in the 504 and Jerry Henderson in the number 10C. That's row 14, while Kurt Fisher expected to start on row number 15. Jones, remember, pole sitter, had trouble at the start in the 504. He's got to recover here if he wants a chance at winning here this afternoon. Look out for the Sody Kart number 504. Drivers out of turn number 12 into their staging lanes, looking to go green, and we've got it. Green, green, green. Racing up here now into turn number 1. We'll see how many drivers that Jones can get on this opening lap. He'll be charging hard. Can't make a mistake, though, and find yourself well back. 3 drivers together coming out of turn number 3, stacking them up. I want to say that one of them is possibly Don Gilbo in the 27. So Brent Lyman possibly as well. We'll give you the full rundown when we come across here. But Gilbo, one of the drivers involved, he's actually going to push off coming out of turn number 3. Your leader is Falcone out of the box. Cleveland goes to 2nd. McCaddy 3rd. Honeywell now to 4th position. Holbein now up into 5th. Good start for Paul Holbein in the energy number 31. He'll go to 5th spot. Loses a position there, however. It's like John Dixon or Kevin Manning coming through. John Dixon possibly making the pass. Brent Lyman, Wade Eastwood, and Don Gilbo, the drivers, are together over in turn number 3. And Kurt Fisher, who had that bad wreck in the opening heat race, a no-starter here for race number 2. 29 drivers in our Tag Master category. Billy Cleveland now with the fastest lap of the race of 51.8 as he's going to try to reel in Falcone. Quicker by about 1/10 of a second. Half a second back now. Kevin Manning in the number 23 spooling things up here nicely. Manning in the VME. Now up into 5th position. Got some open racetrack, and Manning's coming. Mazzoni right behind Holbein. John Dixon, the 77, in the fight as well. Jim Russell and Chuck Graffard, 9th and 10th. Remember to keep an eye on Paul Bonilla. I got Wilson here. He just gets by Wilson. Now he's going to work on Russell. Bonilla's going to be into 10th position here going into turn number 1. Mike Jones, the 17th already. Again, taking his time, working forward. Jones up to 17th. Good start for Andy Saisman as well in the number 51. He gets himself up into 14th position now. Quite a bit quicker than the drivers immediately in front of him. So Saisman trying to follow the lead of Bonilla. Paul Bonilla able to get by Chuck Graffard in the number 1 machine. He is going. Bonilla is rolling here right now. Going to try to go to the outside of Holbein into turn number 1. Bonilla now into the top 10. Mike Jones to 16th as Bonilla goes by Holbein into turn number 2. Next up, rolling on John Dixon. As Bonilla's got it going here. Looks to the inside of Dixon coming into turn number 5, but thinks better of that one. That would have been asking too much. Falcone's lead now about 0.8 of a second. So he's trying to continue things up front. Good heat race victory for Falcone. Gives him some bonus points heading into the main event this afternoon. He'd love another win here. Another spot. This time by Dixon comes the number 1, the national champion from last year, Paul Bonilla. A little wide coming through 1. May lose that spot back, and he does. Bonilla, he's going to be able to hold it in 2. I thought he was going to lose that spot. Overcooked it going into turn number 1 and rolled up out of the apex in 1 and allowed Dixon to get back down the inside. We got drivers sliding off between turns number 4 and 5. Possibly Will Jadaker. Jadaker was running in the 13th position. Jadaker in the 14C, the CRG, just dropped the wheel coming out of 4, and the car just went around. Falcone continues to lead. The gap now 1.2 seconds from Cleveland. Brian McCaddy now runs in 3rd. Honeywell 4th. Manning 5th. Mazzoni in 6th spot. Bonilla now up to 7th. John Dixon in 8th. Paul Holbein 9th, and Chuck Graffard 10th. Ethan Wilson able to get by Jim Russell Jr. as well, who runs in the 12th spot. Saisman 13th. Mike Jones now to 14th. Mike Jones now able to get by Saisman up to 13th position. So Jones methodically trying to work his way forward. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by. 3 to go. Falcone resets fast lap of the race of 51.342. Last time about 0.6 of a second quicker than Cleveland. Then Bonilla does it as well. Here comes McCaddy to the inside. Man, McCaddy almost had the move by Cleveland, but Billy forced the issue and came across the bow from 2 to 3. See if McCaddy can spool back up to try to make a move for second. Bonilla now closing on Mirko Mazzoni in the Ital course number 127. Jones into 13th, as we said. It'll be 2 to go this time by for Falcone, who's stretching out there in the arrow. Wow, Bonilla, not to be denied here today. Jones now to the rear bumper of Russell. He'll go alongside him, coming over, going to try to crisscross in turn number 1. Wasn't quite there to make it happen. Jones now right up on the rear bumper of the Parolin, belonging to Jim Russell Jr. Not close enough to make a late break into turn number 4. So a number of drivers stacked up there. I want to say that's 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, all stacked up. Another fast lap for Bonilla, 50.950. Bonilla now closing right up on Mirko Marzoni, who's also closed up on Manning. Bonilla may find himself in the 5th spot here if he plays his cards right. He's watching Mazzoni try to go after Manning. He's all over the road. Mazzoni's not doing any kind of race lines that are going to give him a good lap here. Bonilla closes right up. He'll dive to the inside in turn 4. Side by side coming through 4. Bonilla gets by. That's for 6th spot. Bonilla now trying to close up here. Final lap on the racetrack in Tag Master, heat number 2. Falcone's rocking it down the back straight. I don't know if Bonilla's going to have anything here. It'll be a late breaker on Manning if he wants to get by. Really pushes it. Not quite in the position to do it. Falcone with the win. Cleveland 2nd. McCaddy 3rd. Honeywell in 4th spot. Manning in 5th. Bonilla in 6th. Mirko Mazzoni ends up in 7th. Chuck Grafar in 8th. John Dixon 9th. And Jim Russell Jr. rounds out the top 10. Mike Jones able to get back to 12th. So he still has a lot of work to do if he wants to try to get on the podium or get a race win in the main event. It is a longer race, obviously. These guys will have to have the endurance to be able to go that long distance and have that cart set up to come in past that halfway point if they want a chance at supreme victory here this weekend. Again, fast lap of the race. Personally, the last lap for Falcone, a 51.317. 50.9 quick lap for Bonilla, so he's definitely in a position to challenge still. But nonetheless, Falcone scores the second heat race victory for Tag Master over Bill Cleveland and Brian McCaddy. So Tag Master done and in the books. We're into the second round of heat races. S2 is done. Tag Junior's done. Tag Master's done. S5 next up.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
Do you remember Intrepid? Of course you do. Their record in the U.S. includes countless wins and championships, from club racing to the Stars of Karting Series and the SKUSA Supernationals. Well, Intrepid is back, and they've teamed with Champion Racing once more. Quality, innovative, and amazingly affordable. These are the words to describe the new era of Intrepid. It was 10 years ago when Champion Racing first partnered with Intrepid, and the results were staggering. Multiple victories were garnered at major events, and many titles were won, including the eKartingNews.com Team of the Year 2 years in a row. Brett and Rodney Berryhill are committed to the new era of Intrepid and securing a strong presence in the North American market. If you're ready to win, think Champion Racing and Intrepid. Is F1 your ultimate goal? If it is, do you know your path? Art Grand Prix is one of Europe's leading single-seater racing programs, winning races and titles in GP2 and GP3, the series that lead to the ultimate championship, F1. ART's new karting program is taking the international racing community by storm, developing a direct connection between karting and their top-level open-wheel teams. The connection between karting and professional motorsports is undeniable. We all know that karting provides the skills necessary to advance in the sport, and so does ART Grand Prix America. Here in the U.S., ART Grand Prix America has been formed, and its team drivers are already standing on the podium and winning races. Right now, ART GP America has a strong Arrive and Drive program and would be interested in speaking with any young competitor with F1 aspirations. We're also excited about expanding their dealer network. If you're a race shop looking for a new line for the showroom floor, call ART Grand Prix America. Be part of something bigger, much bigger. Check us out online at dpowerracing.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back.
Back live here in Tucson, Arizona. Round number 2 of the heat races for our first day of action at this year's Spring Nationals. It's S5 hitting the racetrack, brought to you by Ital Course America. Carter Williams in the number 3 starting on the pole alongside Patricia O'Ward. Second and third in the points last year. Looking good here to try to repeat those positions. Jared Campbell in the number 103. Starting third alongside Eric Nelson in the number 91. Row 3, Derek Scott Jr. in the 101 and Jesse Woodyard in the 17. Row 4, Jacob Loomis in the 168 and Jim McKinney able to claw his way back, or at least let's say limp his way back to 8th position after contact. He ends up in the 8th spot. Andretti Young and Evan Roshak will start on row 5. Garrett Dixon, after that bad start, able to come back to 11th. He bogged on the start and had to actually get pushed off the starting line. He'll start 11th alongside Max Newfer. Then it'll be Hannah Grisham in the number 888 alongside Sandra Kirby, and Raul Guzman and Nathan Ads on the final circuit. Keep an eye out for Ads trying to work his way through. He's got a top 5 car. He just needs to get on it and get moving forward. See if our drivers get off the line here in the S5 category. Ready to rock it here. Couple drivers having trouble. One of them not able to get into the grid spot here. Field looks to be set, I believe. I think we're ready to go. Indeed, we are. Finally able to get ready to rock. Drivers in position, looking at the lights. Green, green, green. Eric Nelson totally sleeping at the line. He's going to go back to probably 8th position. Those lights caught Nelson napping. He's going to go way back. Let's hope our drivers can get through cleanly through 1. Not too bad. Over to 2 and 3 now. One driver way wide, off into the gravel, able to continue. That's the number 7, Raul Guzman. Up front. I want to say that was O'Ward getting the whole shot in the number 2, the 3G Kart Racing Burrell, as he's able to jump into the lead. Down the back straightaway comes that front-running quintet. They are your leaders right now. O'Ward, then it's Williams, Campbell. And I want to say Derek Scott Jr. now up into 4th. And then the 168 of Jacob Loomis on the CRG. Nathan Ads already at 12th spot. Garen Dixon 10th this time. Is a couple drivers together over on the exit of turn number 1. Couple drivers together. Oh, I want to say, that might be Eric Nelson. So you can see the Cosmic suit there. Could be Nelson off over in 1. 2 competitors out of the race already. Begin lap number 2 of this 10-lap heat race. Looks like it's going to be Evan Roshak in the 58 and likely Eric Nelson, the Cosmic driver. We'll know as they come around here. Those are the drivers we're trying to give you here at this point. Hannah Grisham out of the race already. Possibly a no starter action. I'm not seeing any laps at all for Hannah Grisham in the 888. Jim McKinney with the fast lap of the race. He's now up into 6th position. Indeed, it was Eric Nelson in the 91 and Evan Roshak in the number 58. And, of course, had he not had trouble on the line, that wouldn't have put Nelson into the position to get into that contact effort. So had he been able to get off the line, would have been able to stay out of trouble. McKinney now up to 6th, though, 50.012, about 0.2 of a second faster than O'Ward. He's back, though, by about 2.5 seconds from that lead group of drivers. But McKinney's closing on the KGB. Jared Campbell able to get another spot there as well. He'll go to 2nd. I think we have a new leader. Carter Williams been able to put that number 3 back up front, and Jared Campbell followed him through in the Intrepid. So your leader was O'Ward just a lap ago, but Williams and Campbell go by O'Ward now back to 3rd. Campbell, Scott, Loomis. Oh, the top 5. Jim McKinney in the 1, though, definitely reeling them in here. Once again, McKinney resets fast lap of the race. Again, 0.2 of a second quicker than the leader, 48.6. In fact, we have a new driver to the point, Jared Campbell, leading the way in the Intrepid. Jared Campbell, now your front runner. Campbell now leads. Carter in 2nd. McKinney starting to roll up here now. Looking for a piece of 4th. That's McKinney. McKinney makes the move to the inside in turn number 1, trying to go by Loomis. Gets the job done coming to turn 2. So McKinney now into the 5th position. Trying to recover after that incident in the late going of heat race number 1. Back to 4th already. Nathan Adds as well is up to the 8th position. Garrett Dixon having a great drive in the energy. He's up to 7th as well. He and Adds trying to work their way through the field here. Dixon just on the outside of that lead group. He's the next driver in line. New leader down into turn number 1 as Campbell gets back by Carter Williams. And in fact, I think Loomis able to get, no, it's actually McKinney now going to work on Derek Scott. And I think he just got the job done. McKinney to the inside of Scott in turn 4. So a great recovery for McKinney. All right, with 3 laps remaining, Jim McKinney trying to reel in those drivers in front of him. He was about a half a second quicker than Carter Williams last time by, as both Campbell and O'Ward able to drop down a 50 flat. McKinney wants them to be racing in front of them, and I expect they will do just that. You know, Carter Williams isn't going to wait there in 3rd. He wants to get back to the lead. O'Ward, similar, trying to find a way by Jared Campbell, who leads for the first time in S5 competition on the Pro Tour. Campbell in the 103 Intrepid. McKinney doing whatever he can to reel them back in. Yeah, McKinney not quite as quick as the lead group. They're all down to the 49s. 49.7 for Award, 49.8 for Williams, 49.867 for Campbell. Front-running trio running really good laps now. There goes Carter Williams to the inside of Award in turn one. He'll go back to second. So Williams takes over second spot with 1 to go. Does he have anything now for the leader? Can he reel him in the final lap? A little bit low coming into turn number 4 to try to take away the opportunity from Award to get back by him. Williams, though, closing right up here. Coming out of turn number 5. Let's into the S's for the final time of this heat race. He closes right up on Campbell. Maybe a half a length. Carter Williams, let's see if he has anything coming down the back chute. Maybe 3 lengths down the back straightaway. Good exit out of turn number 9 for Campbell, and he will win his first Pro Tour heat race. Jared Campbell, your winner. Carter Williams sets fast lap of the race on that last circuit of 49.603. Award third, McKinney in fourth. Derek Scott Jr. in 5th spot, Jacob Loomis in 6th, Raul Guzman 7th, Nathan Adds in 8th position, Garrett Dixon 9th, and Jesse Woodyard rounds out the top 10. But it was Jared Campbell, your winner, by about 0.3 of a second over Carter Williams and Patricio Award. S5 now done. Tag Senior next up.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
In 2012, Sabre Cook made history when she became the first woman in Superkarts USA to win a Pro Tour title. And if you want that same power, the power that helped carry her to the S2 Championship, you'll need to call SRS Engines. SRS is among the leading engine service centers in karting today. Owned and operated by John Sefcik, the Texas-based operation creates championship-winning power for stock Honda, Tag, and Yamaha engines. Sefcik and the SRS brand have excelled in the stock Honda category, producing a number of victories and championships on the SKUSA Pro Tour. Each and every engine that comes out of the SRS shop is assembled with precision, dyno tested, and ready to be bolted onto your kart. Today, SRS provides reliability and performance from their 2001 cylinder and head assemblies. This package is the same combination that will power many of the top teams and drivers all to the front of the field in the stock moto class on the Pro Tour, and if you do, visit srsengines.com. Courtney Concepts is the place for the finest karting products on the market. Courtney Concepts is a distributor for a number of popular products used every weekend at the kart track, including Motul Oil, RK and Regina Chain, and Nippon Karting products. Motul Kart Grand Prix is the spec oil for the Superkarts USA and all Pro Kart Challenge programs across the country. And Courtney Concepts has it in stock, along with a number of lubricants that Motul offers. For drive gear components, Courtney offers RK and Regina chains, available in multiple sizes and lengths. Nippon Karting products help spin those chains on their aluminum axle sprockets and their 50mm steel axle sprockets. Other products that Courtney Concepts are proud to distribute include Ico bearings, Koyo bearings, ARS oil seals, KVR motor mounts, and Sniper laser alignment systems. A complete list of dealers for these products and more are listed on the Courtney Concepts website. To add your business to their list of featured dealers, contact them at 800-667-6660 or visit CourtneyConcepts.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back. This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals.
Back live here on ekartingnews.com. Continuing coverage as we get set to go with round number 2 of the Tag Senior Heat Race. So Tag Senior getting set to go here. Jonathan May is going to start in the pole position after a great heat race win in the number 197. Jake Craig starts alongside in the number 60. He was able to recover nicely. Matt Johnson and Andrew Zimmer on row 2. Travis Lowe and Mason Dodders on row 3. Drivers slipping into the staging lanes. And we're racing in Tag Senior, second heat race. This will set the grid for the main event. Very important race, not to get caught up in anything. This is where you're going to start. Oh, 2 drivers 4 wheels off in the grass. Grass? No, dirt. Oh, almost over. Couple of drivers going hardcore coming through. One of the drivers was right up on 2 wheels coming through 2 and 3. More drivers off at the tail of the field. And a lot of action here in this opening lap for Tag Senior. And yeah, a couple drivers walking away in disgust too. They understand what just happened. TJ Coyen out of the race. Remember, he went out and had to go off-road riding and started way back in the pack. He started back at 26. Well, he just got shuffled out. That's what happens when you start at the back and it gets a little crazy back there. These guys have a little trouble with patience. Coyen going to start at the very tail of the field for the main event. Mason Chalut's involved, TJ Coyen, and Wyatt Manis as well. So that's Chalut and Coyen, a couple of top drivers from the Manufacturers Cup in the East Coast who find themselves on the outside looking in for the second heat race. Back up front. Figure out who that was into the lead now. I think it's Jake Craig has been able to put the Cosmic out front. 10-lap heat race for Tag Senior. Next up, S4. S4 drivers are next up. Main events closing in. Craig, your leader. May second. Johnson third. Zimmer, Andrew Zimmer in the 73 Art Grand Prix America car now running into the 4th spot. Here comes a pass for the lead into turn number 2. Book it. Good move there for May. Aggressive down the inside and Craig into turn 2. Nice pass for Jonathan May. Louis Pagano trying to work his way back up in here as well. I think Pagano might be up in the 3rd spot here. They are really going at it. Jonathan May continues to set the pace. A 4-driver breakaway right now. May in the 197, Craig in the 60, Pagano in the 355. First we've seen of Louis Pagano, and then Mason Dodders in the number 16E. Matt Johnson right there in 5th. Nick Rivellini in the 6th spot. Joel Jens able to get up into 7th. Travis Lowe now 8th. Bailey Murphy 9th, and Andrew Zimmer in 10th. Obviously, it's a little controversy here this weekend, or at least a lot of guys jumping over to that Rotax power plant that seems to be strong here this weekend. Joel Jens, the leading driver in the Leopard. Perla Leopard on the car of Joel Jens, national number 3 after a great Pro Tour last year. And he's really working it here right now as well. Jens will lose a couple spots here as he's getting reeled in by Andrew Zimmer, who started 4th. Bailey Murphy trying to find a way by as well. Jonathan May looking to win another heat race here, though, as he's trying to stretch away. Brandon Jones having a good recovery. Remember, Jones started really at the tail of the field after an incident. Jones already up into the 14th position now. He's right on the rear bumper, the number 15 of Austin Dement. Matt Johnson now with the fastest lap of the race, trying to close in here. 49.853, and an interesting note just passed on to me. Matt Johnson older than both Jake Craig and Jonathan May put together. Their ages. Johnson's been around a long time. This guy's a veteran driver. Heck of a shoe. And you won't find another driver with that kind of a competitive fire than Matt Johnson. He always wants to run up front, currently running in that 5th position. Johnson could be running in the Masters category, but prefers to stick it out here in Tag Senior, and why not? He is bad fast and trying to work his way back up here. So May leads, Craig 2nd, Pagano 3rd, Dodders 4th, and Matt Johnson 5th. That's the front-running 5 breakaway. Then it's Travis Lowe in the 7th, or rather Nick Rivellini, I believe, in 6th, Travis Lowe in 7th, Andrew Zimmer in 8th, Bailey Murphy 9th, and Joel Jens rounding out the top 10. Johnson trying to find a way by Pagano now for the 4th position. Brandon Jones now able to get by Mike Geeson. Geeson in the DR kart, number 68, Moturi power, I believe, on that. Brandon Jones able to get by. This track definitely favoring the, well, at least we can say favoring the Rotax. However, a lot of the front-running drivers all have moved to the Rotax. So it's hard to judge when you start getting guys that could probably run up front with whatever they had on, running that Rotax. But whatever it is the deal here for the weekend. So the Rotaxes are leading up front here. Jonathan May setting the pace. Matt Johnson, though, able to get to 3rd position now. Johnson, P3, right onto the rear bumper of Mason Dodders. Johnson closing now up on Mason Dodders in the FA. Trying to slip through here. Right on him coming into turn number 5. Final lap on the racetrack. I think Johnson also maybe trying to play it smart a bit, setting himself up for a good run in the main. But remember, points for these heat races too. Let's see if Johnson takes a run down the straightaway here. Lines them up. Dodders going to stay to the outside. Johnson's going to stick right with them. Doesn't try it. I think he likes to start on the inside of row number 2. He likes that. The victor will be Jonathan May back-to-back. Dodders 2nd, and starting on the inside of row 2, right behind your leader, will be Matt Johnson. Jake Craig ends up in 4th. Louis Pagano in the 5th spot. Nick Rivellini ends up in 6th. Travis Lowe in 7th. 8th is Andrew Zimmer. 9th, Bailey Murphy. 10th, Brandon Jones. 11th, Joel Jens. 12th, Mike Geeson. 13th, Alejo Fernandez. 14th, Austin Dement. And 15th, Jess Peterson. So Jonathan May, your leader, he wins it again. It's been a good day for him thus far, but can he complete it? Can he score that main event victory this afternoon? That remains to be seen. Lots of racing still to come. And stay with us, folks. Those of you listening in on ekartingnews.com, give us a shout-out. Send in some emails if you want. news@ekartingnews.com. We would love to hear from you. Next up, S4. Master Stock Moto. Their second heat race about to go live on ekartingnews.com.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
Are you looking for that extra tenth of a second? Or are you simply trying to refine your skills behind the wheel? If so, Rollison Performance Group's driver development program can take you to that next level. Led by National Championship driver Mike Rollison, the RPG driver development program is more than just lessons at the track. Rollison and his RPG staff go in-depth with pre-race physical and mental preparation, breaking down circuits, and poring over onboard video footage and data. It's all about focusing on every aspect of the driving equation. The Rollison Performance Group is also the Northwest United States distributor for Cosmic Chassis. And in 2013, RPG will be trackside at a number of major events across the country, including the SKUSA Pro Tour and the SKUSA SuperNationals in November. If you're searching for a program that can provide more than just equipment and trackside support, you need to look at the Rollison Performance Group. For more information, head to RollisonPerformanceGroup.com. Everyone knows that it takes money to go racing. It's also common knowledge that investing in yourself is always a wise strategy. When it comes to graduating from karting to open-wheel Formula car racing, there's really only one option that keeps you in control, and that's the Formula Enterprises race car from SCCA Enterprises. The Formula Enterprises car has the features and performance of a 21st century racing machine, and it has its own regional and national category within the SCCA that provides an unparalleled event schedule. And it's now the spec car for the national class in the USF 2000 Championship, the first rung on the Mazda Road to Indy. This is a serious race car, built for drivers who are serious about development and affordability. If you're investing in your own racing, invest in yourself. The Formula Enterprises car holds its value thanks to its spec program, and it will get you on the racetrack more affordably than any other open-wheel car available. For more information, or to find an SCCA Enterprises customer service rep near you, head to sccaenterprises.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back.
Back live here, folks, and getting ready to go. S4 on track for their second heat race to set the grid for the main event. It's been all about Jordan Musser here this weekend. Very strong out front in national number 3, the 3G kart racing Burrell. Veteran driver, multi-time Rotax Grand National champion. Also, Rock Island King of the Streets winner. Looking to score a SKUSA Pro Tour title as well. He'll start alongside the number 41 of Curtis Cooksey on row 1. Row 2, the ageless Robert Marks in the number 103 and Rob Logan in the 33. Row 2, last year's champion, row 3, last year's champion Eddie Olpen in the number 1 alongside the Canadian hot shoe Don McGregor in the number 71. Row 3, PP Mastro in the number 2 and Willie Musgrave in the number 422. Lance Lane in the 65 will start alongside Daryl Tunnell on row 5, while Steve McCaffrey and Brian Fisher will be on row number 6. Remember, Fisher coming from 28th to 12th. Let's see what he does here, able to possibly work his way into the top 10 for a shot at the race win come the main event this afternoon. Row 7, Greg Nelson and Mike Smith, while row 8 has Michael Potikin and Mike McDonough. Row 9, Jet Davis and Greg Bridle, while it's Trevor McAllister in the number 2 starting 19th alongside Ken Schilling. Row 11, Todd Wilson and Jack Nelson, while row 12 has Chris Foso and David Conyers. Row 13, Ben Johnston alongside Victor Jimenez, while row 14 is Michael Rhodes Jr. and Mike Sullivan. Row 15, Chris Jennings, former S4 Supernats winner in the 175, will be charging from that position, while Scott Clark will be alongside Justin Peck on row number 16. Nick Firestone in the 33 is going to pull up the scratch position as both Rob Van Dieren and Joe Johnson non-starters. Drivers getting into position and ready to go here. Field now set, 33 strong, and S4, green, green, green. Rough start for the 65 of Lance Lane. He's going to go outside the top 12, but they'll stack him up in turn number 1. He's able to go to the outside. Whole shot goes to Musser. Good start for, I think, Marks possibly into second spot, but we're underway. Good job by the S4 drivers to get through these first complex of corners nice and clean. Just go racing after that. And away we go. Nick Firestone starting 30 seconds, one of the drivers we expect to work his way at least into the top 20 here. He's got the speed to do it. Here comes Jennings as well, already on the throttle. Chris Jennings, remember, started back in 26th. Jennings already to 21st. 5 spots for Chris Jennings. Brian Fisher already into 8th position. Fisher having a good battle here right now with PP Mastro, trying to hold him off. Mastro able to go back down the inside to take the spot. That's actually Don McGregor he's working with. He's able to get by Mastro. That's McGregor. McGregor in 7th, Fisher in 8th. They're having a good little dice for it. Marks with the quickest lap on that outlap, a 51.787. He's got to deal with Curtis Cooksey, though, right now. Cooksey getting aggressive on Robert Marks, right on him. Fisher onto the rear bumper of McGregor. Good fight. Trevor McAllister and Mike McDonough falling down the order. Far part of the racetrack, you can see McAllister out of this race. It has just been a horrible day all around for Trevor McAllister. Loose engine mount in qualifying put him on the sidelines. Trouble in heat number 1, trouble in heat number 2. Last year's runner-up in the championship chase, walking away from the kart in disgust right now. Just not going his way. Back to the lead group. Curtis Cooksey able to get by Marks for 2nd. Musgrave 3rd, Logan 4th. Olpen now 5th. Brian Fisher able to get into 7th now. Good start for Fisher, 12th to 7th. He's trying to set himself up for a shot at a podium, maybe even a race win. Chris Jennings now up into the 17th position as he's been able to work his way forward. Nick Firestone from 33rd to 25th. Tough one for Firestone, having to start back in 33rd, but trying to work his way forward as best he possibly can. One a lap would get the job done. That'll get him up to 23rd. He's already in 25th. Wants to get into the top 10, though, or top 20, rather. Jennings starting to go to work here on the number 22. Jennings looking to get by Jet Davis. Firestone now to 23rd, but lots of open racetrack between himself and Dave Conyers. It's only quicker by about a tenth of a second. Cooksey now with a fast lap, 49.879, a full second behind Musser, though. Fisher now to 7th, McGregor 8th, PP Mastro 9th, and Mike Smith. Yellow flags flying down here in the final corner like there's a driver off. Can't see anybody over there off the racetrack. Oh, there's a driver pulling away here, walking away from it. Todd Wilson, the number 28, out in turn 11. Fisher now with the fast lap of the race. The Fish is on fire. 49.797. Brian Fisher in the DRT Racing, number 90. Builds his own engines, Fisher Racing engines, under the DRT banner. Now up into 7th position. Almost a full second quicker than Rob Logan and back by 3 seconds. Still 5 to go. Fisher's got a chance to get into the top 5. He's closing up big time now. Fisher all over Logan, who's having trouble getting by the number 1 of Open. Fisher trying to be smart here. He's got the race car to get into the top 5. Really got balked up by Logan last time by. Didn't handle that one well. And he's going to have McGregor closing again from behind. Fisher's got one of the fastest cars on the track, a 49.8. 49.7 just laid down by Musser, quickest lap of the race, but Fisher is quick. He's got to get settled back into it here. Got balked up by Logan in turn number 1 and in turns 2 and 3 as well. Jordan Musser in the number 3 Burrell for 3G Racing. Resets fast time, 49.605. So Musser's car just starting to come in here on lap number 7. Musser, Cooksey, Marks, Musgrave and Open the top 5. Rob Logan in the 33 running in the 6th spot. But Brian Fisher, the 90, putting on the pressure. Drivers we watch coming forward, the number 175 of Chris Jennings now into 14th. And Nick Firestone now to 22nd. Curtis Cooksey now with a fast lap of 49.5 as he's trying to chase him down. Fisher was able to close up and almost make a move on Logan, but has not been able to do much damage since. As we'll see the white flag fly next time by. 1 to go, next time by the stripe. Final lap on the racetrack for our S4 drivers. This class brought to you by DRT Racing. Musser, Cooksey, Marks, Musgrave, and Open, top 5. Another spot for Nick Firestone. He's now up into 19th position. Jennings to 13th. Good recovery for both of those pilots. Musser's going to take this one unchallenged. Cooksey in second. Marks third. Musgrave fourth. Open fifth. McGregor able to get by Fisher on the final lap. So Logan takes sixth. McGregor seventh. Brian Fisher ends up in 8th position. Mastro ninth. And Mike Smith rounds out your top 10. Chris Jennings in 13th. And Nick Firestone 18th. So Firestone from 32nd or 33rd to 18th. Good run for Nick Firestone. Continues to be all Jordan Musser up front, though. A 1.8 second advantage for Musser. Cooksey with the quickest time, 49.598 for Cooksey. He's going to have to get off the line and challenge early, though. We're going to have a long main event for these drivers. We'll see how that plays out. But nonetheless, Jordan Musser in the number 3 scores the win. Curtis Cooksey in second. Robert Marks in third. Willie Musgrave fourth. And your national champion from 2012, Eddie Open, caps off your top 5. S4 done in the books. Their grid will be set for the main event. Next up after this S4 category, Tag Cadet.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, DCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
Do you want to be the best? Then join the Kart Sport North America program today. Now entering its 3rd season, the exclusive U.S. and Mexico importer for the Aero Racing Karts has soared to the top of the industry by helping put its drivers and equipment at the front of the field on the track. The Aero brand earned the eKartingNews.com Constructors Championship in 2010 and finished second in 2011. Kart Sport North America was also named Team of the Year in 2010. Kart Sport North America is the importer for a number of products to complement the Aero brand, including SKF bearings, KartTech products, CZ chain, iPrisma tire gauges, Oryx wheels, and ORG racewear. In 2013, the team will provide support and arrive and drive programs for the Florida Winter Tour, the SKUSA Pro Tour, WKA Manufacturers Cup Series, and the Rotax Grand Nationals. The operation is located at the state-of-the-art Mooresville Motorplex in North Carolina and is the on-site Pro Shop and Rotax Service Center. Listen to this weekend's broadcast to hear the Kart Sport North America and Aero Racing Kart drivers at the front of the field. If you want to be a part of this growing program, be sure to contact us at kartsportna.com.
Do you remember Intrepid? Of course you do. Their record in the U.S. includes countless wins and championships, from club racing to the Stars of Karting Series and the SKUSA SuperNationals. Well, Intrepid is back, and they've teamed with Champion Racing once more. Quality, innovative, and amazingly affordable. These are the words that describe the new era of Intrepid. It was 10 years ago when Champion Racing first partnered with Intrepid, and the results were staggering. Multiple victories were garnered at major events, and many titles were won, including the eKartingNews.com Team of the Year 2 years in a row. Brett and Rodney Berryhill are committed to the new era of Intrepid and securing a strong presence in the North American market. If you're ready to win, think Champion Racing and Intrepid. Is F1 your ultimate goal? If it is, do you know your path? Art Grand Prix is one of Europe's leading single-seater racing programs, winning races and titles in GP2 and GP3, the series that lead to the ultimate championship, F1. Art's new karting program is taking the international racing community by storm, developing a direct connection between karting and their top-level open-wheel teams. The connection between karting and professional motorsports is undeniable. We all know that karting provides the skills necessary to advance in the sport, and so does Art Grand Prix America. Here in the U.S., Art Grand Prix America has been formed, and its team drivers are already standing on the podium and winning races. Right now, Art GP America has a strong Arrive and Drive program and would be interested in speaking with any young competitor with F1 aspirations. We're also excited about expanding their dealer network. If you're a race shop looking for a new line for the showroom floor, call Art Grand Prix America. Be part of something bigger, much bigger. Check us out online at dpowerracing.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back.
Back at it, ladies and gentlemen, as our tag cadet drivers get ready to set up their grid for their main event this afternoon. They'll do that with the second heat race. Chase Farley looking to get another win here. Farley will start on the pole alongside Nick Bruckner. Farley was able to jump out to a pretty nice little lead at the start of their, midway through their heat race. But Nick Bruckner and Stingray Robb hooked up and said, hey, you know what, we're coming. And they were able to reel him in, but needed probably one or two more laps, and instead decided to battle it out amongst themselves in the final circuit. Heading down the back straightaway, Bruckner was able to hold Robb off, and he will again start on the outside of row number 1. Stingray Robb and Anthony Willis will be on row number 2, while Roy Fulmer and Ron Charteau on row 3. Trenton Sparks and Jackson Logsdon will be on row number 4, while Jagger Jones and Oliver Calvo round out the top 10. Drivers rolling around here and are getting set to go. Tag cadet looking for green. No, not at all. They were not in any sort of pattern to be able to get the green, so the yellow flags will fly. And we'll try this one again. So our tag cadet drivers rolling around here to try to do this again. Into their staging lanes, and yeah, we're racing. Tag cadets down into 1. Let's hope cooler heads prevail. A couple drivers diving down to the bottom. 3 wide midway through. A couple drivers, we're 4 or 5 wide at the back. A couple of them jumping over top of each other. Guys, just relax and settle in. A couple drivers getting together near the tail of the field. Corner workers getting their way over there to try to unlock a couple of drivers that got tangled up on the exit of turn number 2. Looks like Stingray Robb has been able to work his way into the lead here. The corner worker's doing a good job getting rid of that accident over in a turn number 2 and 3. Trying to figure out which drivers were involved there. Looks like it's going to be Hayden Lefevre and Jace. Oh, not again for Jace. Trying to figure out which driver's coming across here. Hayden Lefevre and Jace Denmark-Gessel. Jace Denmark-Gessel's been involved in a couple already. Stingray Robb, your leader, though, 57.697 out front now by 0.3 of a second from Bruckner. But they'll close right back up again. Bruckner and Farley locking and loading. The front-running 3 drivers trying to pull away as they did before. Trenton Sparks in the 32 running 4th, and Jackson Logsdon in the number 99 doing what they can to make that not happen, to try to see if they can't make that the lead trio a quintet up front. Willis now runs in 6th, Fulmer 7th, Charteau 8th, Jones 9th, and Schoen in 10th. Chase Farley's been able to work his way back to the lead. He and Stingray Robb trying to pull away as Bruckner has now fallen back to 4th. Trenton Sparks in the 32 has been able to work his way back up to 3rd spot. So Sparks out into 3rd. Bruckner 4th, and now Jackson Logsdon trying to lock up with him. It's like Zoe Edenholm and Colin Queen together on track. They're both off as well. Farley and Robb trying to stretch it away here now. Let's fight this one out amongst themselves to set the grid for the main event. One more heat race to go after Tag Cadet. It will be S1. And then we will drop the hammer on the first main event of the 2013 Pro Tour season. So Stingray Robb, folks, with 5 laps to go. Now your leader, as he's able to get by Chase Farley. It'll be 4 to go this time by. Robb, your leader, Farley in 2nd, Bruckner 3rd, Logsdon and Fulmer now 4th and 5th. And it's Sparks, Jones, Schoen, Willis, and Dante Yu now into the top 10. 4 laps to go here in Tag Cadet. Stingray Rob's been able to stretch it out a little bit here. It was only about a 1/10 of a second last time by, but it's got to be about 4 or 5 tenths now. He's looking really good trying to stretch away in the late going here in tag. 7 tenths total. Man, Stingray dropped the hammer and pulled away here in the late going. Gets down to a 57.807. Not even the fastest lap of the race, but Farley's actually backed it up to a 58.4. So I don't know if Farley might have just made a mistake on the racetrack because we have a 2-driver breakaway out front. But the next 7 drivers are, 7 drivers all together. 3rd all the way back to 8th or 9th. They're just locked together here. Stingray Rob out front. 7/10 of a second, as I said. He'll see the white flag next time by. Nick Bruckner leading Fulmer, but here comes Fulmer down to the inside, the end of the back straightaway. He'll take over 3rd. Fulmer now to P3. Gap back down to a half a second as Farley turns the wick back up again. Farley must have just had one odd lap because he's closing right back up here. Fulmer now leads the next group. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th all running together. Fulmer, Bruckner, Logsdon, Jones, Willis, Schoen, and Sparks. Good racing here in Tag Cadet. That's what it's all about. These young drivers in Tag Cadet learn the ways here, get into the racecraft, make the jump up into the Tag Junior category, and then at that point when they really hone their skills, they step in with the big dogs in Tag Senior. Chase Farley continues to reel in. Stingray Rob here at the end. He's going to run out of time. The win is going to go to Stingray, but not by much. It was a half a second last time by. This time just 2 tenths. Stingray Rob with the victory. Farley 2nd, Fulmer 3rd, Bruckner in 4th, and Jackson Logsdon rounds out the top 5 in this Tag Cadet class, brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports. Stingray Rob, your winner by 2 tenths of a second over Chase Farley. One more heat race to go, and we'll have all the grids for the main events locked and loaded, and we'll jump right on into those feature races. It's going to be S1 in their second heat race next up, live here on ekartingnews.com.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
In 2012, Sabre Cook made history when she became the first woman in Superkarts USA to win a Pro Tour title. And if you want that same power, the power that helped carry her to the S2 Championship, you'll need to call SRS Engines. SRS is among the leading engine service centers in karting today. Owned and operated by John Sefcik, the Texas-based operation creates championship-winning power for stock Honda, Tag, and Yamaha engines. Sefcik and the SRS brand have excelled in the stock Honda category, producing a number of victories and championships on the SKUSA Pro Tour. Each and every engine that comes out of the SRS shop is assembled with precision, dyno tested, and ready to be bolted onto your kart. Today, SRS provides reliability and performance from their 2001 cylinder and head assemblies. This package is the same combination that will power many of the top teams and drivers all to the front of the field in the stock moto class, on the Pro Tour, and regional programs near you. Do you want that advantage? If you do, visit srsengines.com. Courtney Concepts is the place for the finest karting products on the market. Courtney Concepts is a distributor for a number of popular products used every weekend at the kart track, including Motul Oil, RK and Regina Chain, and Nippon Karting products. Motul Kart Grand Prix is the spec oil for the Superkarts USA and all Pro Kart Challenge programs across the country. And Courtney Concepts has it in stock, along with a number of lubricants that Motul offers. For drive gear components, Courtney offers RK and Regina chains, available in multiple sizes and lengths. Nippon Karting products help spin those chains on their aluminum axle sprockets and their 50mm steel axle sprockets. Other products that Courtney Concepts are proud to distribute include Ico bearings, Koyo bearings, ARS oil seals, KVR motor mounts, and Sniper laser alignment systems. A complete list of dealers for these products and more are listed on the Courtney Concepts website. To add your business to their list of featured dealers, contact them at 800-667-6660 or visit CourtneyConcepts.com.
This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back.
So our S1 drivers have now taken to the racetrack as we get set to go with the final heat race. Our EKN Trackside live coverage continuing here from Tucson, Arizona. This program presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. It's been a heck of a battle here in the S1 category. Joey Wimsett was able to get the whole shot to outrun Fritz Leisman into turn number one in heat race number one. But the great battle was the fight between Leisman and Sabre Cook as she was able to reel up on the rear bumper of Leisman and challenge for that position in the late going. Wimsett now rolls around here. He'll get up here to his grid spot as we have a solid field of 18 drivers. Wimsett will start on the pole alongside Fritz Leisman. Row two again, it'll be the two rookie drivers, Sabre Cook in the 317 and Billy Musgrave in the number 322. Row three, the 101 of Jimmy McNeil, the number 3 of Daniel Bray. Row 4, the 155 of Cody Hodgson and the 15 of Alec Gumpfer. Row 5, the 6 of Jake French and the 105 of Christian Bird. Getting set to go, and we've got it. Green, green, green. Truff start. Oh, a couple drivers together. Oh, one over. Driver over at the end of the straightaway. He's going to get up and going. That driver's fine. Might have been Alec Gumpfer. We're not quite sure. One of the drivers went over. He was one of our Tony Kart drivers, I believe. Could have been Gumpfer. We'll find out as they come through here. Yeah, I believe that might have been Alec Gumpfer over in turn number 1. He was able to walk away, jump away really quickly. So he's fine. So 2 drivers together at the very start of this one. One got sideways and the other one really no place to go for Gumpfer. He just got collected on that one. Leisman leads. Second spot is now Wimsett, but Wimsett's going to go down the inside to try to take the spot. Matthias Podbo involved in that one as well. Let's get the drivers that actually were involved here. Alec Gumpfer and Keenan Schmidtke, the 2 drivers involved over in turn 1. Matthias Podbo involved as well. Trouble for Jake French as he's off the racetrack on the exit of turn number 4. So French out of the race as well. So some attrition early on in this S1 heat race. Same drivers pulling away. Leisman, Wimsett, Musgrave, and Cook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Daniel Bray leading the next group as he runs in the 5th spot. 6th is Jimmy McNeil. 7th, Cody Hodgson. 8th, Corey Milne. Ninth is Josh Lane, and 10th, Tyler Bennett. So Fritz Leisman's been able to stay out front a little bit here as the battle behind him continuing. Billy Musgrave going at it pretty good here. He was able to get back by Sabre Cook, who had passed him for 3rd, but now Musgrave trying to go to work on reeling in Joey Wimsett. Wimsett, the number 2, runs in 2nd. National number 1, Fritz Leisman, your reigning champion, out front as your leader. Wimsett 2nd, but the 2 rookies, Musgrave and Cook, right there in 3rd and 4th. Musgrave trying to go to work on Wimsett for second. Away from that front-running quartet is Jimmy McNeil now running in the 5th spot. Bray in 6th, Hodgson in 7th. Hodgson trying to find a way by Bray now in a big way. That's for 6th position. Here goes Hodgson to the inside in turn 4. Book it. He's through. Hodgson takes the spot away. He gets by Bray in the national number 3, and he goes into 6th position. So Bray starting to pick up some speed and working his way forward. The front-running foursome, though, checking out and going to battle it amongst themselves as Musgrave continues to put the pressure on Wimsett. 5th is McNeil, 6th Hodgson, 7th is Bray, 8th Christian Bird, 9th Josh Lane, and rounding out the top 10 right now, the 124 of Tyler Bennett. Solid racing up front as they are dicing it out for the lead. This time, however, Leisman's been able to stretch it away a bit. Wimsett was able to get the whole shot and hold him back, and then it was even having to hold one of the 2 rookies. This time, those duties have been flip-flopped as Leisman setting the pace out front, and Wimsett, his hands totally full of a charging Billy Musgrave. Remember, Musgrave, S2 race winner last year at the SuperNationals in Las Vegas, and Sabra Cook, the reigning S2 champion, making the run up here into the S1 category for 2013. Sabre Cook was able to get by Musgrave for a time, but Musgrave able to get back by. Musgrave with the fast lap of the race of 48.722. Here comes Cook. Going to go to work back on Musgrave. Cook to the inside. Not quite enough. She had a really good look to the inside of Musgrave. This is going to give Wims a little room to play with. Final lap on the racetrack for our S1 drivers. 1 to go. 1 lap remaining for S1. Final lap here for the S1 drivers to set the grid for the main event. Coming down the back chute. Is Wimsett close enough? Is Cook close enough? Is anybody close enough? No, top 4 drivers look like they're going to be set where they are. Wimsett went deep to see if he could shake Leisman into something, but he does not. Fritz Leisman with the win. Wimsett takes 2nd. Billy Musgrave 3rd. Sabre Cook in 4th. Cody Hodgson 5th. McNeil ends up in 6th. Bray 7th. Corey Milne in 8th. Josh Lane, 9th. Tyler Bennett in 10th spot. Mike Beanie in 11th. Kyle Hathcox in 12th. Christian Bird in 13th. Lloyd Mack 14th. And Matthias Podbo will take the 15th position. Both Alec Gumpfer and Keenan Schmidtke out in turn number 1. And Jake French, that mechanical difficulty over in turn number 4. He will finish in the 16th spot. Grids are now all set. We are getting ready to go with main events. Tag Junior drivers are already getting themselves ready. Those of you listening live on ekartingnews.com, we got things out of the way. All we've got left to do here today is 8 main events, and stay with us, folks. It's going to be coming live right after this on ekartingnews.com.